The rain tasted like rust. Sergeant Reyes spat, wiping her lips with the back of her gloved hand. The alien forest strip, each leaf a miniature waterfall reflecting the eerie bioluminescence of the flora. It was a beautiful nightmare. Report, Vasquez, she rasped, her voice hoarse. Vasquez, younger, more resilient, checked his diagnostics. Burn still offline, Sergeant. Complete power loss. No comms either. I'm picking up something. A resonance. Like the entire forest is vibrating. Vibrating. Reyes repeated the word, a bitter echo. The vibration felt less like a physical sensation and more like a pervasive feeling of wrongness. Since the anomaly had ripped them from their drone, she felt it, the feeling of something shifting, restructuring. It burrowed in her mind, whispering alien geometries and unsettling truths. Resonance readings matching the subspace anomaly signature. Giant's voice crackled through her comm. He was still back at the original location where they dropped. It's expanding. The anomaly is bleeding into this dimension. Great, Reyes muttered. Just what we needed. A dimensional bleed. She tried to focus on the immediate. Survival. Find a way to contact Giant. Understand what the voice, the asterisk thing asterisk, wanted from her. Sergeant, Vasquez interrupted, his voice strained. I'm getting visual disturbances. Like everything's phasing. Reyes looked at him. His eyes were wide, pupils dilated. He swayed slightly. It a grip. Vasquez. She focused on a nearby tree, its trunk pulsing with an internal light. It shimmered, and for a heartbeat it wasn't there. Then it snapped back into existence. The unsettling feeling intensified. Her own skin felt different. Too smooth. Too malleable. Then the voice came again, a silken whisper inside her head. Asterisk purpose nears completion. The Weaver prepares. Asterisk what Weaver? She demanded, though she knew it was futile to speak aloud. The voice didn't answer directly. Instead, it projected a series of images into her mind. Visions of galaxies spiraling into each other, of stars being born and dying, of entire civilizations rising and collapsing. And in the center of each vision, she saw herself. Not asterisk or asterisk, Sergeant Hilaria Reyes of the Terran Colonial Defense Force, but something more, a nexus point, a conduit. The visions ended abruptly. The voice returned, laced with an unsettling sweetness. Asterisk resistance is inefficient. Embrace the change. Become the echo. Asterisk. Reyes clenched her fists, fighting the encroaching sense of acceptance. I am asterisk, not asterisk, an echo. I'm a soldier. She drew her sidearm, a standard-issue TCD-44 pulse pistol. She fired a burst at a nearby tree. The pulse energy rippled through the bioluminescent foliage, but had no discernible effect. Weapons ineffective, Vasquez reported, his voice now bordering on hysteria. Energy fields dampening everything. He stumbled backward, tripping over a root. As he fell, he looked at her with a strange, vacant expression. They're beautiful, Sergeant. The colors is symphony. His words were a jarring contrast to his previous panic. Reyes felt a cold knot of dread tighten in her stomach. He was changing. Asterisk the asterisk were changing him. She tried to reach out to him, but as her hand drew near, he recoiled as if burned. He looked at her with something akin to pity. You can't stop it, Sergeant, he whispered. It's inevitable. Then he stood up straight, his posture now unnaturally graceful. His eyes glowed with the same eerie bioluminescence as the forest itself. Join us, he said, the voice no longer his own. Become part of the symphony. Reyes knew with a horrifying certainty that he was lost. He wasn't Vasquez anymore. He was something else. She spun around, scanning the forest. The trees seemed to be closing in, the bioluminescence pulsing with an unnatural rhythm. The feeling of wrongness intensified, a suffocating weight on her mind. Asterisk the tapestry awaits. Asterisk the voice whispered in her head. Asterisk step at your role. Asterisk. Suddenly a section of the forest shimmered, revealing a path she hadn't noticed before. It wasn't the natural path. It was constructed. A gateway. Standing at the gateway was a figure, tall and slender, its form indistinct in the pulsating light. It extended a hand towards her. Asterisk come, Weaver, asterisk the figure said, the voice a perfect echo of the one in her head. Asterisk you're what begins. Asterisk Reyes stared at the figure, her hand instinctively reaching for her sidearm. But as she looked at the gateway, she saw a flash of memory, a vision of her own birth, of her first steps, of the moment she joined the Terran Colonial Defense Force. As she saw, superimposed over those memories, a new series of images, galaxies merging, stars being born and dying, civilizations rising and collapsing. And she saw herself, not as a soldier, but as something more, She lowered her weapon. Asterisk, what do you want me to weave? Asterisk, she asked, the words barely a whisper. The figure smiled, a slow, unsettling curve of its lips. A new reality, weaver, it said. A symphony of existence. Reyes stepped forward, crossing the threshold of the gateway. As she did, the forest shimmered around her, the bioluminescence intensifying. She felt a strange sensation, as if her very being were unraveling, being rewoven into something new. On the other side of the gateway, she saw a landscape unlike anything she had ever seen before. A vast, swirling expanse of colors and shapes, a living tapestry of existence. She looked back one last time at the gateway. The forest was gone, replaced by a shimmering void. Then she turned forward, embracing the unknown. Back at Outpost Gamma, Giant was growing increasingly concerned. The subspace anomaly was still expanding, threatening to engulf the entire outpost. "Any sign of Reyes and Vasquez?" he asked the technician. The technician shook his head, his face pale with anxiety. "Nothing, Commander. Their signal vanished completely." "Continue scanning," Giant ordered, "and alert Terran intelligence. This is beyond our capabilities now." The technician nodded and resumed his work. As he did, he noticed something strange in the anomaly readings. A faint, distorted signal, a fragment of a distress call. He isolated the signal and amplified it. The voice that emerged was unmistakably Sergeant Reyes, but it was different, distorted, altered, everything changing, everything. The voice whispered, "We've a symphony." The signal abruptly cut off. The technician stared at the readings, a chill running down his spine. "What was that?" he asked Giant, his voice trembling. Giant listened to the recording, his expression grim. "I don't know," he said, "but I have a feeling we're about to find out."